Hello everyone, welcome to third episode of Founders Gyan, where we do Founders Ka Gyan with the Tadka of Gyan. Today we have Mrs. Suman Khannah with us as our guest. Today we have a very unique guest from all the topics we've been discussing so far. Mrs. Suman Khannah is founder of a firm called as Lakshyasaarthi, which creates awareness about mental health issues. Mrs. Suman Khannah, she started her career back in 2008 as a financial advisor in Reliance Capital. After that, she switched many jobs and finally she started Lakshyasaarthi during COVID time back in 2022. It talks about mental health awareness and they also run projects, they conduct offline and online sessions, and they also do online webinars. Hello, how are you?
Hello, Mansi. Thank you so much for a warm welcome. And thank you again for having me.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm really excited to talk with you. And for this podcast, we are going to have two sections. So first of all, we will have GAN section in which we'll be asking you some um, good questions, knowledgeable questions. And after that, we'll be moving forward to the finance section where we ask you some questions and you can drop the curtain of being the founder and let us know who you are as a person. So, shall we begin?
Please.
Okay. So, let's begin with the GAN section. The first question we have is describe in 6.5 words, 0.5 for your favorite punctuation mark. What inspired you to start this company?
My inspiration was my curiosity to understand the meaning of mental health.
Oh, great.
In India, mental health people relates to depression, anxiety, trauma disorders. But again, I believe the small emotion of yours, which is frustration, stress, burnout, we all don't seem to care about it. But it's also a small, important part of mental health जिसकी लोगों को support की बहुत ज़रूरत है.
I agree totally. Like people really need mental health support these days. Great. Okay, so moving on to the next question. What unique personality trait do you think helped you overcome societal norms and achieve success? Because you know you started on a journey wherein you'll have a lot of criticism coming from people, and a lot of people won't reach out because there are a lot of societal norms which stops us from reaching out to counselors because we are scared. What if somebody will judge us? So, what was that trait which motivated you?
My quality, which I think was my, is that कि I'm an optimistic dreamer.
Okay.
I don't actually much care about the result, but in spite of knowing कि result up and down हो सकते हैं, I always keeps my hopes on high, and I always think positive कि result तो positive होगा, फिर negative आए या जो भी आए. And the second quality I think is me being a connector, like as my firm name says, Sarthi. I
Yeah.
love to bond and connect with people, and I love to understand them because I have seen in my own life a huge experience कि जो लोग जिंदगी जीते हैं और जो वो दिखाते हैं, those are really very very different from each other.
True, true. Yeah.
So this is good.
It's important to start wherever it will lead us, but it's really important that we should start at one point.
Yes,
So you did.
yes.
Okay. Moving on to the next question. If you were in my position, how would you want to see yourself?
Well, for that, I would like to tell you what I've done so far. Like, as you told, my firm name is Lakshyasaarthi. I started this around 2.5 years back. When
Okay.
I started, I knew nothing, just कि बच्चों के साथ मिलते कैसे हैं, उनके साथ, how you work with them. So I
Hmm.
started with events, but then and there I started learning how to take sessions, how to counsel them. Then again, to help my kids, I need help of elders.
Yeah.
And then I don't work for adults, so I started this webinar thing. So my whole journey, it's like I believe in taking baby steps. I don't have a clarity of my destination, but I'm very much clear कि मेरा next step क्या होना चाहिए. So I consider myself as explorer. मेरी अब तक की जर्नी एक्सप्लोरर के फॉर्म में रही है बिकॉज एज आई टोल्ड यू आई जस्ट फोकस ऑन माई नेक्स्ट स्टेप. सो अगर आप मैं आपको अपने आप को आपकी जगह पे रखूँ सो नेक्स्ट 5 years में मैं अपने आप को बड़ा एक्सप्लोरर देखती हूँ जो और भी बहुत कुछ एक्सप्लोर कर चुकी होगी. आई
That's
एम
really
नॉट गुड विद
inspiring.
मैप्स एंड ऑल.
Yeah. And especially working with children, I feel you have to handle them with care because they are so
Yes.
sensitive. You don't know how to deal with them. Sometimes they'll have mood swings, sometimes they'll be in a good mood. So it varies a lot. And especially when you talked about you need help from elders, you don't need help, you need support from elders.
Yes, I need support, their support, right?
Because they have that sometimes, like some families are still having that orthodox thinking. So they're not able to break that. And
Yes,
they're
because
not
I believe,
comfortable with that. So it's very important to let them adapt to the new things.
yes, because kids again stays with me for a couple of hours for the session.
Yeah.
After that, they again go to their parents, counselors, and teachers. So if they are not open up to them, no point in me teaching to them anything.
In the end, it's between parents and kids. That's it.
Yes. So I'm trying to bridge them.
Yeah. Great. Okay. Next is how does your organization contribute to educating people, especially when many are hesitant to seek counseling due to comfort or fear? Because you've been conducting webinars regularly, online and offline, so you know your audience, you know people very well. So, like according to you, how much are you able to spread that awareness which is required?
Look, personally, I believe कि mental health support की जरूरत हर एक इंसान को है.
Hmm.
In spite of your age, you are a kid, a teenager, adult, or a young adult, everyone has their own level of struggles. So everybody needs help. And me being a person, it's really hard. So what I do, I conduct online webinars where I invite speakers and we try to create awareness because we select topics that is related to our regular life, हमारी daily life से related topics. And
Okay.
we circulate posters. We share the posters with students, like colleges and students,
Yeah.
then speakers, then my known relatives and all. और वहां से somehow topic का नाम पढ़ के they connect. Slowly they come to know. And जब हम speakers के details share कर देते हैं and they know who the speakers are, तो उनके लिए और easy हो जाता है हमसे connect करना. We use
Yeah.
social media platform
Okay.
like LinkedIn, Facebook and Instagram.
Hmm.
So this is how we try to create awareness. We started with a community of 20 people. In 1 year, we are almost 200 plus.
Great. Great.
Thank you.
That's really commendable.
Thank you so much.
You've reached so far, and I'm sure you'll reach more.
Yeah, I have many professional supporters with me. मेरे speakers बहुत अच्छे से motivate करते हैं, वो ground level पे जाकर हमारी audience की मदद करते हैं. And again, as I said कि audience में कोई भी आता है, तो we have हम government officers, NGO counselors,
Hmm.
other counselors, teachers, बच्चे, homemakers, advocates, वो सारे हमारे audience रह चुकी हैं.
So, like variety of people, and as you were just mentioning that everybody suffers through these kind of situations. So you've witnessed it. You witnessed it, right?
Yes, I did. And I love to connect them.
Great. Okay. So next is what's your most memorable moment on your journey to becoming the founder of Lakshyasaarthi?
Well, to this question, I need to go a little flashback. Like before I founded Lakshyasaarthi, there was a days of my life. I would specify the 5 struggling days of my life where I was going through a lot of things. And I thought कि मेरे पास सुनने के लिए और समझने के लिए कोई नहीं है.
Okay.
It was a mess time when I literally was looking for help कि मुझे कोई help कर दे. Then I met one of my friend. She called up suddenly after months कि उसकी situation बहुत ज़्यादा खराब है and she's trying to give up on her life. उसको
Oh,
suicidal thoughts आते हैं.
oh,
So that statement was quite huge for me. So forgetting all that is going on in my life, I was just trying to convince her. मतलब anything, any movie ka dialogue या anything that could convince her. So it literally 5 days we spoke with each other, and the call duration of 5 days were around 17 to 18 hours.
okay.
After 5 days, somehow today I don't remember कि मैंने उससे क्या बातें करी, but
Yeah.
after 5 days she was like literally
Hmm.
happy enough to go back to her life. And I got a tagline from her कि Suman, you're my last resort.
Oh,
Well, that was a kind of achievement for me because I understand the meaning of last resort. And the second achievement was like when next day her mother and her sister called up saying, Suman, I don't know tumne kya kiya, but she is happy, at least she's listening to us. We were very worried for her. So those were the days. And usko help करने के बाद I actually went to professional again. कि what I did, I don't know, but how I did, this is what I want to know.
yeah.
So those were the days that took U-turn in my life, and here I am today.
That's the biggest achievement because you saved someone's life.
I've been blessed enough to do that.
And that's, I think, that must have been the motivation for you to start your journey of
Yes,
Lakshyasaarthi,
absolutely.
right?
Absolutely.
So, a big thanks to her as well.
Yes. That day I learned my biggest lesson. You don't have to be a good advisor जो लोगों की problem solve कर सके. But if you are a good listener, then half of the problem is actually solved. You won
Actually,
the battle.
because
And I,
most of the people are just looking for somebody to listen out to them. They just want to vent out.
yes, and without being judged. So I guess I was a good listener to her.
True. That's a very important point without being judged. Because half of us, we do not vent out because we are afraid what if the other person judges us.
Yes.
So we keep it
Ab-
all inside.
yeah. And I think counselors do that. Like they are the strange angels to us जो हमें बगैर जज किए हमारे बैकग्राउंड को देखे बिना हमें सुनते हैं एंड हमें एडवाइस करते हैं.
Absolutely. I've never been like more often, I have not been to a counselor, but I guess once in my school days, I've been to a counselor. And it's really relaxing when you talk to them, when you share things with them. Because the way they have with people, it's really different.
Yes, they believe in empathy.
True. They believe in empathy.
Yes,
Yeah,
it's damn easy to connect with them.
true. Okay. So next is, how do you organize seminars and convince people to attend? When attendance is low, does it make you feel like giving up? Because I think you also organize online webinars.
Yes.
And these are webinars. Even if there are classes during COVID time, we used to have classes online. So even
Yes.
in that, students skip every time if something is going to be online. So I think like when platform is online, most of the people try to skip. So how do you convince people to attend these webinars? And if it is low, then don't you feel like, oh my god, nobody is attending, then why should I even organize? So
Yeah, as I told you, like we chose topic जो हमारी regular life का हिस्सा होता है. For
yeah,
example, parenting. Again, parenting is a simple word, but is that huge meaning because the parents we had, our mother was the last generation जिन्होंने phone कम देखा होगा, like नहीं के बराबर देखा होगा in our upbringing,
yeah.
and we are like literally stuck to gadgets.
Hmm.
So parenting was struggling. For relationship, sex education, manifestation, again, it's just a word for few people, but it has a huge meaning and it could change your life.
Yeah.
Our mind has a part called subconscious. वो
Hmm.
एक पार्ट कितना बड़ा हमारी लाइफ में रोल प्ले कर सकता है. तो दीज आर द थिंग्स जो हमारे रेगुलर लाइफ का हिस्सा है. बट अगेन वी आर सो मच ऑक्यूपाइड विद दिस रैट रेस थिंग कि ये चीज हमारी लाइफ को किस तरह इम्पैक्ट कर रही है. वी डोंट सिट एंड थिंक ओवर इट. तो ऐसे टॉपिक्स को हम चूज करके हम अपनी ऑडियंस को एक अपॉर्चुनिटी देते हैं कि जो टॉपिक इस वक्त आप चाहते हो हमसे वेबिनार करना, आप टॉपिक को खुद चूज करो. एंड वंस दे डिसाइड द टॉपिक, we try to create awareness on that topic by making small posts, by creating awareness poll, and accordingly I invite my speakers. I create a panel of 3 speakers in my webinar. मैं उन्हें लेके आती हूँ. And what I try विद दो स्पीकर्स कि हर चीज को, आपकी छोटी छोटी चीजें, आपकी लाइफ के छोटे छोटे मोमेंट्स आपकी लाइफ में कितना बड़ा इम्पैक्ट क्रिएट कर रहे हैं, आप इन्हें समझो. एंड अगेन डीलिंग इज वेरी इजी. ऑल यू नीड इज टू चेंज योर माइंड सेट. ये मैसेज पास करते हैं. दिस इज हाउ वी कंडक्ट आवर वेबिनार. सो
Oh,
मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम टॉपिक इटसेल्फ वर्क्स. बट हाँ, देयर वर टाइम्स जब हमारे पास ऑडियंस रियली बहुत कम होती है, लाइक 4-5 होती है, एट टाइम्स 40-50 तक जाती है. बट
hmm.
वी डोंट गिव अप बिकॉज आई हैव लर्न फ्रॉम अदर काउंसलर्स एंड मेरी खुद की भी बिलीव है कि इफ वी आर एबल टू चेंज द माइंड सेट ऑफ वन पीपल हु इज, सो वी आर डूइंग अ ग्रेट जॉब बिकॉज एवरीबडी इज स्ट्रगलिंग. I alone can't reach to thousands and crores of people. But if I could reach to 100 people, those 100 people will definitely help me reach to those crore people for sure at some point of time.
Yeah.
I believe अगर 1% भी positivity है, तो I take my chances and I do the webinar.
So
At
basically,
times,
yeah.
again,
Hmm.
जब ऑडियंस कम होती है तो एक बार लगता है कि शायद नहीं काम बन रहा या वी डिडंट गिव आवर सफिशिएंट एफर्ट नहीं किया. बट अगेन लगता है मे बी 100% एफर्ट नहीं था, मगर 0% भी नहीं था बिकॉज कुछ ऑडियंस तो आई थे. वी शुड नॉट गिव अप एंड बेटर टॉपिक्स लेके आने चाहिए.
So basically, like two takeaways. That one is keep the topics very close where people can connect with you, connect with the topics, and then they'll definitely join. And second one is that like basically your motive is to earn something. Like your earning is if someone's life gets impacted, that's your earning.
Yes,
So even if
absolutely.
some people, like less people are joining, if someone's life is getting impacted by that, so your motive behind that is successful. You've achieved that.
One point is actually missed out here. It's like once the our webinar is done, what I do, we actually talk to our audience to fill up a feedback form.
Okay.
यहाँ पे हम एक्चुअली उन्हें ऑप्शन देते हैं कि वो जो टॉपिक हमसे करवाना चाहते हैं उन्हें वो सजेशंस दें. सो टू बी ऑनेस्ट, फर्स्ट द पहले 5-6 टॉपिक्स जो हमारे वेबिनार के थे वो हमने चूज किए थे.
Hmm.
फ्रॉम पास्ट 7 मंथ्स हमारी ऑडियंस ही हमारे टॉपिक्स को बताते आई है. सो यू नो इंटरनली लाइक वो सीक्रेटली अपने टॉपिक्स बता सकती है फीडबैक फॉर्म के थ्रू.
Because that's what they are struggling with. So they
यस.
what do they want advices on and counseling on.
यस, एंड द फीडबैक वाज फॉर्म लाइक यू डोंट हैव टू शेयर विद एवरीवन, इट्स ऑन इंडिविजुअल बेसिस. तो वो शेयर कर देते हैं एंड वी डोंट रिवील द नेम, बट हम टॉपिक चूज करके उन्हीं के सामने रख देते हैं.
Okay. Anonymous.
यस.
Great. Great. So you're helping a lot of people.
Trying. Thank you.
Okay, so moving on to the next question.
Okay.
Based on your experience, how would you assess the general population's understanding of mental health education in our country? Because I think you people, like people who are running mental health firms, you people have more experience because you are continuously in contact with such people, right? So I would want to ask this question to you that according to you, your experience, what percentage would you give for the awareness of mental health amongst our population?
वेल इन केस ऑफ अवेयरनेस आई वुड से मतलब बहुत ही कम लोग उसके बारे में अवेयर है. बट इन केस ऑफ सपोर्ट इफ यू आस्क देन आई थिंक एंटायर पॉपुलेशन नीड्स हेल्प.
Hmm.
Because me being counselor and I have met other counselors too, and I have seen like being a counselor हमें भी help की जरूरत पड़ती है and हम भी जाते हैं counseling and therapy के लिए. But again as I told you कि कुछ specific words को इस mental health से जोड़ा जा चुका है हमारी इंडियन सोसाइटी में. डिप्रेशन, एंजाइटी जैसे बड़े बड़े वर्ड्स को इतना ज्यादा लिंक किया जा चुका है कि छोटे वर्ड्स टेंशन, फ्रस्ट्रेशन, इन चीजों के लिए लोग मेंटल हेल्थ की वैल्यू समझते ही नहीं है एंड ये सबसे ज्यादा इम्पैक्ट करती है. So I think majority of the population need support, but minority has an idea कि कहाँ और कैसे help लेना चाहिए.
I think people are not even clear with the terminologies. As you're just saying that people have taken all these terms, so they are just merely words for them. Anybody you will call fifth grader, they'll be like, I am in depression. They do not even know what depression feels like.
Yeah. My son, like he is in class 5, he told me yesterday कि उसका friend depression में चला गया था because he don't know, उसके friend को नहीं पता कि वो maths के paper को कैसे करेगा because he is little weak. So I wanted to understand कि what made you think he is in depression. He started crying and वो डर रहा था. हमने बेटा उसे tension कहते हैं.
Depression.
Depression is a huge word. And not only him, in my NGO sessions also have seen many students calling me, ma'am, I was literally depressed during my exams. And I had to literally request them, please ये depression word हटा के देखो, your life is really beautiful and you're not at all close to depression.
क्योंकि आधा डिप्रेशन तो वो डिप्रेशन बोल बोल के आ जाता है उनमें.
Exactly, and people don't understand depression is a huge thing.
Yeah.
Like, it's not something stress जैसा है, it's a huge word which has broader meaning. They just know ये tension is my depression, simple.
Uh, because they hear everybody, like all the adults around them saying this, so they also start using it without
हाँ,
even actually
डिप्रेशन
meaning
इट्स
of it.
लाइक फीवर. जैसे उसे सर्दी है तो मुझे सर्दी है, मुझे फीवर है सो मुझे डिप्रेशन भी है.
Now we are alike.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So like yeah. So coming back to the question, a lot of people really need this awareness and they need this education about mental health
Yes.
because the
Yes.
population is not yet well aware and educated.
Yes, I won't say they're not educated, but but mental health को लेके they don't take it that seriously.
See.
But I'm so blessed, like I have connected with many people nowadays. In past 1 year, like more than 60 already speakers मेरे पास आ चुके हैं,
Hmm.
and many more are about to come as I'm not going to stop my webinar ever. And they all are working so hard on this spreading awareness. I'm just proud of them, and they're like kind of motivation to me.
So,
Everything will be good one day.
yeah, it will definitely be.
Yes.
Okay. So the last question for GAN section we have is, how would you motivate people to educate themselves knowing that cliches really work? Like you'll just cliches as in like you'll randomly go and tell someone that no, it's important, you should be aware about mental health, but they'll again take it for granted. So you have to use some other trick to educate them. So how would you motivate?
Yeah, I would suggest them to do something that I did long before. Sit with yourself and try to listen to yourself. अपने आप से बात करने की कोशिश करो, अपने वर्ड्स को खुद सुनने की कोशिश करो। रब ने हमें जो 2 कान दिए हैं, वो सबकी बातें सुनने के लिए तो नहीं दिए हैं। हम खुद की बातें भी सुन सकते हैं व्हेन यू लिसन टू योर ओन सेल्फ और व्हेन यू राइट जर्नल्स। तो यू डोंट इवन नो कि कितने बैक ऑफ द माइंड कितने थॉट्स और कितनी कंफ्यूजन्स है एंड व्हाट यू नीड, वहां से आपको क्लैरिटी मिलती है एंड देन यू connect with someone and you ask for support.
Yeah.
So sitting with yourself and me time is really necessary.
And it's comparatively easy rather to talk to someone you it's comparatively easy to talk to your own self.
Yes,
Yeah.
much easier.
Okay. So with this, we come to an end of the GAN section, and I really appreciate and admire what you are doing because I guess it's really important to have more people like you who spread awareness about these things because it's really required, and we just got to know like very less population is actually educated, so it's really required. And
Thank
thanks a lot to
you.
people like you who are doing this.
Thank you so much. We are blessed.
Coming to the funny section, now we'll have some funny questions where you can drop the curtain of being a founder and give some funny answers.
Absolutely.
Okay. So first is like because most of the times when we go for interviews, anybody who's taking our interview will be asking this question. So I just want to hear from the other side this answer. So where do you see yourself in 5 years?
A bigger explorer. Matlab, like just walking through, no idea about the destination, but enjoying all the views coming in between. हमने वो गाना सुना था, like when being a 90 kids, if I'm not sure about you, it was like घर से निकलते समय आंखों में सपने लिए घर से हम चल तो दिए जाने ये राहें अब ले जाएंगी कहाँ. So I think that गाना suits me. मतलब I'm just taking a walk on the path, no idea what's my destination, but I'm literally enjoying my view.
Yeah.
So
Start.
I'll be a bigger explorer in next 5 years.
Nice. Okay. So, what's your favorite meme about being a CEO? If you're active on any social media platform, then
The one I saw a long before, like it was quite a long before, they were trying to explain miscommunication.
okay.
We all have heard about a game, Chinese Whispers.
Yeah.
So this was Chinese act, I guess. Not sure what game का नाम क्या था. It's like they all stand in a queue facing towards the wall, and one after the other they turn around and see what the other people next people is acting, and use the form that start, it's like salsa, and by the time the game ends the last step becomes bhangra. So this is how it changes. So that was a very meaningful, and I have done this quite time in my own sessions with kids and they love it. So all I learned from this is whenever you want to teach something, just make it fun. वो याद भी रहेगा and the learning would be awesome.
Yeah. It will become very memorable and easy to remember.
Yes.
So, next is who are your two biggest competitors?
Wow. Competitor is a huge word, but honestly, I don't have any competitors. क्योंकि मुझे ना सारे एजुकेटर्स नजर आते हैं. जैसा कि मैंने आपको बताया मैं बच्चों के साथ काम करती हूँ.
Hmm.
सेशंस में जब भी मैं एक प्रेजेंटेशन लेके जाती हूँ ना एंड रिटर्न में जो वो क्वेश्चंस पूछते हैं क्यूरियोसिटी दिखाते हैं,
Yeah.
दैट बिकम्स अ पार्ट ऑफ माय लर्निंग. सो बच्चे मेरे कंपिटिटर्स नहीं है, बट वो मुझे बहुत कुछ सिखा के चले जाते हैं. देन टॉकिंग अबाउट देयर पेरेंट्स गार्जियंस एंड ऑल, उनके जो क्यूरियोसिटी और उनके जो कंसर्न्स रहते हैं वो अगेन मुझे एजुकेट कर जाते हैं कि ये एक और कंसर्न रह जाता है.
Yeah.
एंड टॉकिंग अबाउट द प्रोफेशनल्स जो सेम फील्ड के हैं, दे आर तो एब्सोल्यूट लर्नर्स. एवरी वेबिनार में उनसे मैं इतना कुछ सीखती हूँ ना. So no competitors at all. But yeah, I am full of educators. मेरे लिए teachings भरी पड़ी है. And हमारे बड़ों ने कहा है ना, सीखने की कोई एज नहीं होती. आई ट्रूली बिलीव अपने प्रोफेशन में आने के बाद कि एक्चुअली मेरे सीखने की कोई एज नहीं है और सीखना खत्म ही नहीं हो रहा है. सो नो कंपटीटर्स एट ऑल.
Because again, as we discussed, your motive is like your earning is basically to spread awareness.
Yes.
So the
And
competitor
my
is an
and
educator.
my biggest teacher has been my 10-year-old son.
Okay.
कि वो जो सवाल लेके आता है वो जिस एंगल से चीजों को देखता है ना, दैट एक्चुअली सरप्राइजेस मी एवरी टाइम.
Oh. Because he tells you ki what's the recent problem people are facing. Students, actually, kids.
या.
So it can help you. Yeah. Come up with a funny tagline to describe your company.
Oh, as you are using the word funny, so I have one. Maggie says spaghetti tak. So
Nice.
I would clear here. Maggie is like your confusion, all tangled thoughts. And spaghetti is clear, straightforward thoughts. So Lakshyasaarthi में सब यहाँ पे मैगी
Maggie पे आता है.
कंफ्यूजन के साथ आते हैं. And with the help of my speakers, I give them spaghetti that is clarity towards a thought. So Maggie says spaghetti tak.
Yeah. I hope you're able to cook your Maggie and convert to spaghetti soon.
Fine. One day for sure.
Definitely. Okay. Next is what's the first thing you do when no one's watching you?
I sing. No one allows me to do that. And I love singing.
Okay.
Basically, being Indian or not even Indian, what we see कि हमारा मूड अगर सैड होता है तो हम सैड गाने गाते हैं, हमारा मूड रोमांटिक होता है तो हम रोमांटिक गाने गाते हैं. अकॉर्डिंगली वी चूज आवर सॉन्ग्स. बट मेरा मूड जब भी बैंड बजी होती है, आई व्हेन आई एम नॉट एट ऑल इन अ गुड मूड, आई चूज सम वेरी रॉक सॉन्ग्स एंड पॉप सॉन्ग्स. क्योंकि आई थिंक वो मेरे मूड को बूस्ट करके ना और बेटर बना देते हैं.
It will cheer you up.
Yes. So whenever if someone is in a very dull mood now, please don't go for slow songs. Try this strong songs like pop songs, rap and all. आपका mood immediately change हो जाता है.
Reverse strategy.
हाँ, and if you're singing along तब तो और जल्दी हो जाता है.
क्योंकि कोई और सुनने को नहीं है तब.
Yes, most important.
Yeah. Okay. So the last question for fun section is if you weren't the founder of Lakshyasaarthi, then what would you be?
If I were not, then connected to for sure, because as I told you, I love bonding and connecting with people and getting into their lives.
Yeah.
Uh, the but since you are asking professionally, so a cafe owner, जहाँ पर with snacks now a small section would be library where you could sit, enjoy your snacks, reading book, and if you are willing to discuss, I'm always available. So snacks के साथ discussion free.
Yeah. You'll always be there for discussing.
Oh, always.
And God sent you to be a Sathi, to be a connector, to connect with people and solve their problems.
I guess yes.
Yeah.
Very soon I'm working on it कि सब मुझे सारथी नाम से ही जाने.
Changing your name now. Okay, so it was really fun talking to you, and the fun section is now over. So it was really funny to know you, the fun side of you. And thank you so much for being at Founders GAN, for sharing such good insights with us, for sharing about mental health issues. And I think the audience will be watching this video will really get inspired and they'll realize the importance of mental health. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much for having me, Mansi. You are doing a great job. आप
You.
अलग तरीके के अवेयरनेस फैला रहे हो.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.